My partner and I have been together for 3 years. For the first 2 years, we went to his family's house for Christmas. Me and his mom didn't hit it off well when we met. I'm not sure what happened, but she immediately didn't like me. We didn't see her much after the first meeting, though, so I never really had a chance to make it up to her until Christmas. I didn't know her well, so I found a pretty minimalist necklace with green agate. It was just the right shade to be what my partner said was her favorite color. I thought she liked it at first until later on in the year after I met up with his family and saw her niece wearing it. I asked where she got it from and she told me my partner's mom was just going to throw it away. I was a little pissed but didn't say anything. It cost me $100, which isn't super expensive for some people. But as someone who lives paycheck to paycheck, it kind of sucked. My partner asked his mom why she wanted to throw it out though, and she said she just wouldn't have worn it. Fine, whatever. Maybe I got her style wrong. It was her gift, and she could do what she wanted with it, I guess. She gave me an Iron Maiden shirt that year that was way too small and an odd choice because if you saw me, your first thought would definitely not be metalhead. So it's not like she put a ton of effort into my gift and was upset I didn't put on as much. So for the second Christmas, I put in effort to get to know her beforehand. I talked to her sister and found out she grew up in the same hometown as me and she missed it a lot. But because it was a 10-hour drive away, it wasn't somewhere she could visit easily. I brought this up to her next time we met up, and she and I talked about the town and started to get along more. In particular, though, she mentioned how much she missed the smell of our town. There was a macadamia farm next to a bourbon distillery that smelled really nice together because of the molasses, and the beach nearby was surrounded by eucalyptus and wattles and always smelled amazing. I had a great idea. I have a friend who makes candles, so I commissioned 2 custom candles, a macadamia, whiskey, and vanilla candle, and a salt, eucalyptus, and wattle candle. I was so excited for her to open them on Christmas, and when she just said, "Oh, that's neat," and put them to the side. Thankfully for my ego, her sister was way more excited about them and even made her light them while we sat out back. My partner's mom just ended up just handing them off to her after we left, and the aunt called us to tell us and ask how she could get more. So this year, I was planning to pay for half of a trip away to our hometown with my partner and his dad paying the other half. It was going to be a week-long set on her birthday, with hotels, drinks, food, and travel included, all up around $2,000, though at the time we only had paid around $1,000 for the travel and hotel bookings. I saved up all year for this cause I really want her to like me, cause I love my boyfriend and we're going to be together for a long time. And I feel like that means me and her should at least sort of get along. A week ago, she came over to have lunch with my partner, and he told me he had come over to tell me not to buy her any gifts because she didn't want some tacky little trinkets bought from Target. So my tacky little holiday was canceled 2 days later, and I've used my half of the refund to buy my partner some Lego that he always wanted but could never afford as just a general gift cause he puts up with me, and I love him. It's going to get here in a month, so I've been thinking about giving it to him as a Valentine's present. On Sunday, we had an early Christmas because it was the only time my partner's grandmother would be in town. When it came time for gifts, I got everyone something but her. And she looked upset when she realized but didn't say anything. She pulled my partner aside and asked why she didn't get anything, and my partner told her what her gift was going to be and that it was already refunded like she asked. She started crying and threw the food that was on the table on the floor and drove home alone. She's been calling us for the past 3 days trying to get me to change my mind, and no one but her mom is on her side. I'm a very petty person, and it's been a genuinely fun time answering her calls lately. We're having a second Christmas lunch for my partner's dad's side of the family this Sunday, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. Thank you so much for all the support. It actually means a lot. I just want to quickly defend her to let you know there's no homophobia here at all. She's a loud LGBTQ supporter. She's just mean as a person. So it's been a bit about a week since I made my last post and was asked in DMs and in comments to update if anything happened. And stuff has, but it hasn't turned out in my favor. So more background info, my partner's grandfather lives with us and I'm his career. I shower him, clothe him, feed him, wipe his ass, all the fun stuff. I love the old man and I don't mind it at all. I'm actually awake at 4 o'clock am right now because he needed some toilet assistance. I'm just going to call him Pop for this. Pop is over 80 and for the past few years he's had a falling problem. He's had his blood pressure and sugar checked. He tried and been taken off tons of meds. He's got exercises he does for his leg muscles, and he's in decent shape, so we don't know what's caused it. In the week of my post, he's fallen 5 times, only once with injuries that's bothered him, thank fuck though, and that happened a day I think after the post. He get face first into the concrete pad outside our house when we were about to go on his walk. Superficial facial cuts, a fucked up knee, and some intense bruising around his side and leg. Basically, he's in pain constantly right now, and the pain meds don't last long enough for him to do a lot of things. I can't put into words how fucking useless I feel over him getting hurt so much suddenly and how little I can do to ease it. He did make it to Christmas lunch on Sunday, but before that he was stuck in hospital literally up until the day, which meant a lot of the preparation for Christmas fell onto me, which of course meant I needed supervision from my partner's mom. I don't think I did a single thing right in her eyes. The one thing I'll relent on is I'm shit at wrapping presents. They were seriously awful, but my partner's mom was pissed about everything. My chicken was done pretty good. I thought for someone who hadn't cooked out before, crunchy skin and soft inside. Just needed a few more herbs and spices next time. And Mael wouldn't stop complaining the whole day I didn't take her advice on how to cook it, and that I needed to leave my partner, the chef, to do it next time. Despite all the bad luck though, somehow Pop hadn't gotten Mill's gift yet, and he said I should go down to get her something. It didn't matter what. She had to like it anyway. I would have loved to get her a lump of coal like someone suggested in the last post, but since it was from Pop, I thought I should at least put minimal effort in, and I knew just the place to get her a little trinket. I ended up getting this small sculpture for her, wrapped it up nice, and on Christmas Day she loved it. She kept going on about how it would fit in so nicely in her lounge room with her art set up and how thoughtful it was. Pop ended up telling her I was the one that picked it out, and she asked who made it so she could look at their other work. When I told her I found it at Target and told her I knew she would like it because it suited the rest of her home, she was mad. She started yelling about how I knew she wouldn't like it and that I needed to treat her with respect. My partner's uncle just laughed and told her she liked it before, so I must have done well. For the next part, I need to add the last bit of context. I'm white and my partner's family are Indigenous Australian. It's never been an issue before, but suddenly my mill yelled out a question why they were letting the white boy take care of Pop. I can't remember the full sentence, but the implication was that I'm either abusing or neglecting him. Not to make this a whole lesson, but she did sort of have a point. Since caring for Pop, I've seen firsthand the negligence that comes from white nurses caring for Aboriginal elderly is white. It's an actual problem, but her accusing me neglecting him hurt a lot. I asked if she wanted to take up caring for him, then since she had the space in her home and also didn't work. And she huffed and rolled her eyes. It was quiet for a bit until someone changed the subject, and then we left early so Pop could go lie down at home and get comfortable. Pop ended up calling Mill a cow when we got home and told me to ignore her. Yesterday, however, the organization of his career sent someone to look around and asked me to leave for a bit to talk to Pop. When I got back, she was gone, and Pop told me I had been reported to them for elderly abuse and she had come to check it out. Of course, he told her the situation with MIL, but I'm honestly worried they don't believe him and think I'm hurting him. She told Pop she'd be coming back in a few days for another checkup. Mill is supposed to be coming around today, probably to snook about the career checking up on him. I'm honestly too tired after this to keep any pettiness up though. I recently had to quit the course I was doing from home because I just didn't have enough time to do it. Help Pop, do the chores, and take care of myself. And I've been in a slump about it. And then the falls had me feeling useless. And now this. Pop says he's not going to a home and no one else will care for him, so I'm stuck with him. And that he's very grateful to have me, but I really don't know how this is going to play out. I guess it depends how much my mill is willing to do to get back at me. I want to defend my partner here. He's grown up with this woman and does usually call up her shit for anything major. She's stubborn and doesn't see her own faults. I don't expect him to waste his time trying to defend me from his mom's usual low-stake pettiness when I knowingly act like the stereotypical sassy homo asshole for fun. So Pop is doing good now. His bruises finally all healed up and he's a lot more independent now since the pain's worn off. We'd neglected looking at the muscles on his calves and ankles because of a stereotype that a lot of Aboriginal Australians have tiny calves and ankles, and we, including his DP, thought they were small solely because of that. Nope, muscle degeneration. But we're working on it, and he's already able to stand for 5 whole minutes without assistance, which is a huge amount of time. The abuse investigation turned up nothing. The worker who came over came again to tell us she had made a note that the mother was against me being a career and had made a false allegation. So it sounds like it'll be a lot harder for her to make a mess of things so easily now. She hasn't admitted to doing it. The worker didn't specify it was her either. But I mean, who else would do that? The timing of the last post getting attention is amazing because I have fantastic news for a lot of you. My fiancé broke up with me a few days ago. I had asked for a break because for the past week he'd been snappy and not wanted me near him much, so I thought it'd be a good way for me to lean on him less and for him to have space. He got upset at the idea, drove off to a mate's, and came back and told me it was a better idea to break up. He said he was sick of 1. Having no time for himself because he worked all day, and instead of relaxing when he was home, he had to hang out and talk with me every single day. 2. His assumption that I was no longer attracted to him. 3. Me being financially dependent on him. 4. Me spending my money on useless stuff while we were financially unstable. 5. Me being quitting course because I am a lazy F who doesn't want to work. Just sleep all day reminder that I quit my course to take care of his elderly grandfather who is scared to be alone and can't do much himself because of falls. Please again, note the fact he also used to be Pop's career until he quit because everyone said he didn't work and was lazy and he was sick of people not recognizing the work he put in. All of the quotes are from the breakup messages he sent over text while he hid in his room, edited slightly for easy reading. Pop and I have talked, and he's told me I'm allowed to stay, and that my ex would be kicked out before I would if there ever was an issue. I'm also going to be his carer for the foreseeable future. In fact, in a delightful twist, my ex's mom called when she found out we split to beg me not to give up on being a carer because no one else would do it. I have the biggest grin on my face just typing what happened honestly. It's been a few days since we split, and I've never had many life goals. I usually just follow what I'm told and support the person leading me, which apparently a lot of people caught on to easily from my posts. My only real goal in the last few years was to do my course, get a job, and get a house with my ex. So when he broke up with me a few days ago, I felt stranded very suddenly. I've since had a few necessary cries and post-cry naps, and then my antidepressants kicked in and I realized that how I've been living isn't at all fulfilling to me. So last night I applied for an online course I wanted to do that my ex advised me against doing months ago. And I'm so excited. It starts today, but since it's online, the late application probably won't matter. Overall, I think this is a pretty positive note to end things on. Things look like they're probably going to go up from here, and I'm looking forward to finding out more about what I want to do for myself now that I'm not so focused on my ex. Thanks again to all the wonderful support from you guys. I probably wouldn't be where I am right now without having read all the supportive comments from the last posts. I love you all very much.